Cars have always been more than just a mode of transportation. They're symbols of freedom, innovation, and the art of engineering. From the early days of motoring to today's high tech electric machines, every decade has left its mark on the automotive world. In this journey, we'll explore how each era brought us closer to the cars we know and love today, showcasing the incredible designs, advancements, and the timeless classics that define each period. So, buckle up and let's take a ride through automotive history. The 1920s were the dawn of automotive identity. Cars were no longer just mechanical carts. They started to become statements of elegance and status. Brands like Rolls-Royce and Duesenberg emerged as symbols of luxury, with flowing fenders, tall grills, and handcrafted details. The Duesenberg Model J, for example, was so ahead of its time that people would say, "It's a doozy," a phrase that still lives on today. Meanwhile, Ford continued to revolutionize mass production with the Model T, putting America on wheels and changing everyday life forever. As the 1930s arrived, so did aerodynamic thinking. Designers began shaping bodies with smoother lines and longer hoods. Cars like the Bugatti Type 57 SC Atlantic became rolling Art Deco sculptures, blending form with function. Despite the Great Depression, the car industry pushed forward. Mercedes-Benz created the 540K, a supercharged marvel of performance and elegance, while American brands like Cadillac emphasized bold, extravagant presence. The decade ended with World War II looming, but design and engineering had reached an artistic high. The 1940s were split in half. Wartime production dominated the early years, and post-war innovation defined the rest. When civilian production resumed, the automotive world returned stronger than ever. Manufacturers had learned from aircraft engineering, applying it to sleeker designs and better performance. The Tucker 48 was a standout, packed with innovations like disc brakes and a rear engine, but crushed by industry politics. Meanwhile, European makers like Jaguar began rising fast with cars like the XK120, a stunning blend of beauty and speed that turned heads across the Atlantic. In the 1950s, the automobile became a cultural icon. In America, this was the golden era of big fins, V8 engines, and endless chrome. The Chevrolet Bel Air and Cadillac Eldorado ruled the roads, capturing the optimism of the post-war boom. In Europe, Ferrari was establishing its legend. The 250 GT series blended competition engineering with grand touring elegance. Mercedes-Benz dropped jaws with the 300 SL Gullwing, a futuristic, lightweight supercar with upward opening doors that looked straight out of science fiction. It was an era of confidence, class, and the beginning of true automotive glamour. The 1960s brought performance into sharper focus. In the UK, the Aston Martin DB5 made its debut, merging suave styling with British muscle, forever tied to James Bond. In Italy, Lamborghini launched its first road cars, setting up a future rivalry with Ferrari. The Miura, in particular, redefined the word supercar. America, meanwhile, gave the world the Ford Mustang in 1964, an instant classic. Accessible, stylish, and customizable, it sparked the pony car revolution. It wasn't just about speed anymore. It was about freedom, rebellion, and youth. The 1970s were wild. On one end, the oil crisis and emissions laws choked horsepower. On the other, design went crazy. The Lamborghini Countach looked like a spaceship, angular and low, with scissor doors that screamed drama. Porsche continued refining the 911, turning it into a track-capable everyday car. Japanese automakers were quietly making moves. Toyota, Datsun, now Nissan, and Honda introduced reliable, efficient alternatives to thirsty V8s. Cars like the Datsun 240Z proved performance didn't need to break the bank. The decade was transitional, where bold looks met new technology. The 1980s went high-tech and boxy. Turbochargers were in. Digital dashboards appeared. Japan fully entered the sports car scene, with icons like the Toyota AE86, Mazda RX-7, and Nissan 300ZX. In Europe, BMW gave us the M3, sharp, fast, and now a collector's dream. the Audi Quattro brought rally technology to the street with its all-wheel drive system. Meanwhile, supercars got wilder. The Ferrari F40, built to celebrate Ferrari's 40th anniversary, was raw, fast, and completely uncompromising. It was also the last car personally approved by Enzo Ferrari. The 1990s were a golden age for JDM culture and engineering excellence. Toyota unleashed the Supra MK4, whose 2JZ engine became legendary for its indestructibility and tuning potential. Nissan gave us the Skyline GT-R R34, a tech-loaded beast with ATT ESA all-wheel drive and Super HI CAS steering. Mazda's RX-7 FD was light, agile, and powered by a unique twin-rotor rotary engine. In America, Dodge shocked the world with the Viper, an 8.0-liter V10 monster with barely any electronic aids. Meanwhile, Europe gave us the McLaren F1, still considered one of the greatest cars ever made, with a top speed of 240 miles per hour and a central driving position that put the driver literally in command. The 2000s brought in the era of precision. Engineering got smarter. Design got cleaner. Ferrari's Enzo was a Formula One car for the road. Carbon fiber, paddle shifters, and a roaring V12. Bugatti shattered records with the Veyron, the first production car to exceed 250 miles per hour, wrapped in luxury and powered by a quad-turbo W16 engine. Porsche modernized the 911 without losing its soul. Meanwhile, Japan continued to innovate with the Honda S2000 and the rebirth of the NSX, while American muscle returned with reborn Mustangs, Camaros, and Chargers. The 2010s were all about hybrid power and technology integration. The Porsche 918, Spyder, and McLaren P1 were groundbreaking hybrids, blending blistering speed with environmental awareness. Tesla's Model S redefined electric vehicles, setting new standards for performance and range. Meanwhile, Lamborghini's Aventador took hypercar design to the next level with its angular, futuristic body. The 2010s also saw a wave of autonomous driving technology, signaling the future of cars, smarter, greener, and more connected. The 2020s ushered in the era of electrification. As the world became more environmentally conscious, electric cars became more mainstream. The Tesla Model 3 became the best-selling EV, while cars like the Lucid Air and Rivian R1T pushed the boundaries of range and performance. Meanwhile, automakers like Ford and Porsche embraced electric performance with the Mustang Mach-E and the Taycan. But it's not just about electric cars. Autonomous driving and smart tech are defining this decade, with cars becoming more connected and more capable of driving themselves. It's the beginning of a new era in automotive technology. From the early 1900s to the electrified future of today, the evolution of the automobile is a journey of innovation, design, and performance. If you enjoyed this ride through car history, drop a like and let us know your favorite decade in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more timeless automotive content.